Good morning, students. Welcome back to our Social Studies online class. Today's lesson, we will learn about the doctrine of Buddhism. To start, let's begin with our vocabularies. Number 1, disciple. Let's spell D-I-S-C-I-P-L-E. Disciple. So we have the translation there. Again, disciple. Second word, we have the word glorious. Glorious. Spell G-L-O-R-I-O-U-S. Glorious. Again, glorious. Third word we have is reputation. Again, reputation. Spell R-E-P-U-T-A-T-I-O-N. Reputation. Fourth word, we have the word pioneer. Again, pioneer. Spell P-I-O-N-E-E-R. Pioneer. Okay, we have the fifth word. We have the word obscure. Again, obscure. Spell O-B-S-C-U-R-E. Obscure. And the last word we have is influence. Again, influence. Spell I-N-F-L-U-E-N-C-E. Influence. Okay, from the top we have the word disciple. Second, glorious. Third, reputation. Fourth, pioneer. Fifth, obscure. And the last one we have influence. Now let's have points to discuss. So we will answer these following questions at the end of our lesson. Number 1, for how many months in a year did the Buddha and his monks travel from place to preach? Okay, so for how many months? So we will answer that later. Number 2, where did they stay during the monsoon? Teacher, what is monsoon? Okay, when we say monsoon, that is a rainy season. Okay? Now let's proceed to our lesson. "60 enlightened monks were gathered as disciples when the Buddha began a pioneer movement for the sake of the people in a distant land." So how many enlightened monks gathered together? There were 60 monks. So there were 60 monks gathered together. Okay? Don't forget. Now, the Buddha addressed this to the monks. He said, "Go forth, monks, and teach the truth which leads to the end of sorrow and to perfect peace and freedom." He said, "Teach the truth which is glorious in the beginning, glorious in the middle, and glorious in the end. Go forth for the good of all beings. There are some whose eyes are not obscured by dusk. Teach them, they will understand." So this is what Buddha said to his monks. Okay? So he means that you have to preach my teachings because many of the people are open-minded to learn about the teaching that we have. All right, so let's go back here. So for 8 months. Remember, how many months? 8 months. For 8 months of the year, the Buddha and his monks traveled from place to what? To preach. So for how many months again? For 8 months. Again, for 8 months. Okay, so we have here 45 years. Okay, teacher, what is 45 years there? In 45 years, his reputation grew and the Sangha increased in numbers and influence. Okay, so for 45 years, the teaching of Buddha grew and their reputation grew as well. Okay, at the same time, the Sangha increased in numbers. What does Sangha mean? When we say Sangha, that is a society of Buddhist people, okay? The Buddhist order. So here, they would stay during the monsoon in bamboo and reed huts. Okay, so this is bamboo and reed huts given by the wealthy followers of Buddhist order. So this is where they stay during monsoon, during rainy season, so that they can stay there, and then after the rain, they can continue to preach about the teaching of Buddha. Okay, do you understand? Very good. All right, so this is our lesson today. Quiz done. Ready? So let's have the questions a while ago that we need to answer. Number 1, ready? For how many months in a year did the Buddha and his monks travel from place to preach? A, 5 months. B, 8 months. Or C, 6 months. Okay, what's the answer? Now, if you have your books with you, please proceed to page 8. So you have to answer that in number 1. Points to discuss, number 1, page 8 in your book. Number 2, where did they stay during the monsoon? A, temples. B, hotels. Or C, bamboo and reed huts. Okay, so we only have 2 questions in this topic. So that's very easy, right? Don't forget to answer that on page 8 in your book. Page 8. So great job, everyone. Thank you for listening and see you next time. Goodbye.